everybody, and welcome to our Amazing Race Episode 2 recap show. We're going to fill you guys in on everything you missed on last night's Amazing Race, with a few little surprises on this episode that I'm super excited for. But let me let you know first, really quickly, if you missed any of our shows, you can check them out over at yourrealityrecaps.com. And if you are watching this back later, you should have been a fan on You Now so that you were alerted when we did it live. Just go to yourrealityrecaps.com/live, click the Become a Fan fan button. It's totally free. You get alerted when we go live. You can hang out in the chat room. You can see John's cooking shows, this show live, our Big Brother Canada shows live. We're having all the Big Brother Canada house guests on, one each night starting next week. So make sure you become a fan on You Now. Of course, if you love all that content, you should become a patron at yourrealityrecaps.com/patron. You get access to the patron-only group, prize giveaways, weekly shows just for patrons, the after shows with the BB Can house guests, or you could do a one-time donation at yourrealityrecaps.com/PayPal. Maybe if some of you did, we'd be in Canada right now. But let's get to the person that you all want to hear me recap Big Brother Canada with. It's Comedy Jonah.
So mean, so mean. You should. I don't know which Mean Girl team on Amazing Race you should be on. The Alyssa, Rachel, or Corinne and Alyssa. Because you are a mean girl.
I am tapping into my inner Corinne Eliza. Do you know, side note, John, I mean, I'm sure everybody knows this, that I guess just last year was the only year that John was not there for the New York City premiere party.
No, been like 3.
Since I broke my leg then, okay. My point is, John, do you know that Eliza has been at every one of those and we did not interview her?
What?
I feel like we really dropped the ball there. And by the way, that's your fault, because she's a survivor, and I default to you about survivors.
I didn't even know she went, but,
yeah.
you know, the odds are looking good that I might be there this year. Who knows?
We'll see if when they announce the premiere date, then we'll know. It'll be exciting.
We'll know.
Let me let everybody know right now. Spread the word. Tell everyone that we're live here. John and I will smile for you. Go ahead. Hit the share button. Share the show. Share it while John and I are smiling and looking fun. John's in a bed. Okay, great. And of course, like I said before, since you're here, become a fan. Hit the fan button, then you get alerted. John, we have so much to talk about on this episode of Amazing Race that I have to say was mind-blowing.
I thought it was mind-blowing too. It was one of the best ones so far. But it was also one of the saddest.
It was the saddest and both mind-blowing, I agree. Well, let's start at the start. We'll start at the start. As I say every time on these shows, it is so hard to figure out the best way to recap this, so I just do it chronologically.
Glad you're in charge of that.
I know. We start out with the teams heading to Snowtown, Saigon. Snowtown.
But inside Snowtown, because it certainly wasn't snow outside.
No. Here's the thing. Like, here in America, we have, like, Disneyland and great adventures and water parks. And in Saigon, they're like, we just want to go inside where it's cold. That's a vacation.
Well, I don't know if you've ever been to that part of the world. I have, and I know your bestie has too, your best Judy.
Uh-huh.
And there's just, you can't just, drive a couple hours and go to the snow like we can here. So it's literally encased in a building.
Wow. Okay. I mean, it was very interesting. What else I thought was kind of weird about it was, if you noticed, all the teams were leaving from the flower market. So remember, like, at the end of the last leg of the race, they had to check in at the flower market, and then they were all leaving from the flower market. So, I mean, I think we said on our premiere episode, it's been like 5 years since John and I have watched Amazing Race. Maybe I just forgot, but do they normally do that? Do they normally, like, send them right off on the next leg of the race from the end of the last one? Does anyone in the chat know? I wonder. I wonder if they do. And of course, chat, yes, leave your questions, comments, tweet them to me. I will put them into the show. Fine, John doesn't know. Now look, Denise M in chat says
I never
sometimes.
even thought about it, but I guess, I mean, it just seemed like a clear transition to me, or maybe because I haven't watched it in so long. I don't know.
Well, but just think about it. You did all the other legs of the race. You finished.
You're at the Flower Mart.
Yeah, you check in, and now they go, okay, you're going on the next leg. Like, you don't even get a break. You don't even get a meal. You don't even get a cheeseburger.
Well, I assumed as a fan that that's the next day at the Flower Mart where everybody gets to go at the same time.
Oh, so you think like they checked into a hotel and
yes.
then... By the way, everyone, now we're not doing it on this show because I already have little things for us for this show. Starting on the next show, and this is a surprise to John too, I will be having exclusive scenes that didn't make the air. So for example, there was a scene with all of them in the hotel partying in the pool. Just fun little scenes that I'll start bringing in that you're not seeing on the regular show starting on next episode. We'll do that. But now look. We had big foreshadowing at the beginning of this episode, which I was going to tweet out, and I really wished I would have, just so I could have been like, haha, I'm right. Basically, what I'm referring to was Corinne and Eliza debating if they could do better than Big Brother teams, and Big Brother teams wondering, why have no Big Brother teams been eliminated? And I was like, this has got to be foreshadowing. This either means that a Big Brother team is going, or a Survivor team is going, or the battle is going to come down to Big Brother or Survivor.
Well, here's what I took as far as what Corinne was saying. She was saying that she was really shocked that there were more kind of Big Brother teams left than there were Survivor, because Survivor is a lot harder game than sitting in a house for the summer, right? And I'm a have-not. That's the worst thing that ever happened to me. And they're starving on an island, barely any rice. So, yeah, I would be kind of a little weird about that too. But then with the Big Brother going, there's no Big Brother teams. They're showing up. I have to give the Big Brother teams credit when credit's due. They are showing up, and they're doing good. Even those other two.
Nicole and Victor are doing really great.
Nicole and Victor are doing fantastic. And so are Janelle and Brittany. Oh my God, when Brittany slid down and hit the bear.
Who are the other two then that you were being shady about?
You know, those other ones.
Who?
You know, those sisters.
The sisters?
Mm-hmm. The two sisters.
I'm like, oh my God. I was like, I don't know what you're referring to.
I thought you were joking. I thought you were going to make me say
I really was just like, I don't know what you're saying. Because I didn't want to miss Lost in...
I'm calling you Kiki.
Kiki. I didn't want to miss Lost in Concru's question from the chat, John. He says, who do you think will turn on the BB duos first? From the Big Brother alumni. So who do you think, like, if a Big Brother team has to go after another Big Brother team?
Easy question. Those two awful sisters.
Oh my God.
What's her name? And Kiki will turn on anyone.
You know, I think a lot of people don't know this, that John and I don't talk before shows.
We don't.
Because I like to keep it where it's like here and fresh and not like, oh, we said something funny and then we're trying to recreate it. So anyway, to that point, now might be a good time to tell John, I talked to Rachel yesterday and she might be joining us next week. So
that's awesome.
Just a little nugget as you go along with your commentary for this show.
That's awesome for you.
Just while you're going along with your commentary for this show, just thought I'd let you know that.
And if Victor and
Nicole.
Nicole. If Nicole ever wants to be on the show, I will be on with her.
Well, I'll have you know, I tweeted out a very positive tweet saying, if you did not like Nicole's Big Brother game, I think you would actually enjoy her on The Amazing Race.
Absolutely. She's doing so good on Amazing Race.
And all of the Nicole fans and the Nicole fan groups and all of them, like, retweeted it and were like, we're so happy your team, Nicole. So maybe I can be on the show if she wants to come on.
We'll see. Nicole and I will have to talk about it.
Okay. Courtney J wants to know, John, why are you not liking the sisters? Why are you not liking Rachel and Alyssa?
You should go back to the archives of yourrealityrecaps.com.
I don't know.
And watch what the sisters did to me on live stream.
Oh, God. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Pretty mean.
I mean, to be fair, that was not Alyssa. That was just Rachel. That was a long time ago.
It was Rachel, but Alyssa was in the back laughing. Like
Rachel, Alyssa was...
Alyssa's a supportive mean girl.
Alyssa was not there, just so that you're aware.
Alyssa was there.
Okay.
See, we don't rehearse ahead of time. But we could take that offline, but yeah, she was there. She was there with, what's his name? And
I mean, I know I have a horrible memory, but I can't. Whatever.
I don't. I hold grudges.
Oh, yeah, I hold grudges and I don't have a bad memory. Got it. Okay, so, like you said, like they're debating, what do we do? Why is no one left? Blah, blah. We're racing. We got to get to the indoor snow park. And then we find out, once again, equalizer. Park does not open until 6:30. So your whole entire lead...
And team fun. You could see the fun drain out of their face.
Yeah, it was so sad. It was like, why bother? Why bother?
It was like 5:13 a.m. So it was like an hour and like 15 minutes before it opened, right?
Yeah. I think they got there at night and it was the next morning, actually.
Well, the little thing, I watched it again today, and the little thing said 5:13 a.m.
Okay, so they kind of like touched the ground and then...
had to wait like a little over an hour, but it was enough for everybody to catch up.
Got you. Okay, so they all, go into this indoor park. They have to like grab their sleds. They have to go sledding down.
With all the polar bears.
With the polar bears. John, this is probably my favorite moment. I almost might say my favorite moment of reality TV. I think it might be clearly your favorite moment.
I cannot wait to see it again.
Oh, well, not only do I have it, John, but I have it in slow motion where we can clearly see, there goes Janelle. We will now see Brittany grab and throw Alyssa into Rachel.
Team Big Brother.
I was like, what?
I saw that.
The F is happening.
Amazing. It was amazing.
I could not handle it. I have to say, that tweet has like 700 retweets. I tweeted that out last night, that slow motion. I didn't think anybody would care. Like over 700 retweets. People were loving the slow motion Brittany. And I said it was Rachel that she pushed over. Everybody quickly corrected me. It was Alyssa that she, like side palmed in the face and knocked over for no reason. Like they weren't stopping her.
Well, she's like walking Xanax, like she didn't react. Oh, it's fine. She wasn't even mad.
I couldn't stop laughing because, again, if you watch it, there's no reason that she needs to hit her. She could have just kept turning.
But she pushes her into Rachel, right? Where I think that's where you kind of thought. But it's so shocking that I know that's, and so exciting that you just got excited and said Rachel, because it was just like, wow.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was hysterical. Alyssa,
best moment so far.
Alyssa's easier to push. She's so skinny, says Courtney. Diane says she did it like a boss.
She did.
I was just like, I can't. So then, like you said, they grabbed their sleds. They had to go skiing down their little mountain. and crash into
I mean, she hit that polar. Well, you could see people on the bottom trying to catch everyone, but I think at some moment everybody just, it's a race, right? And everybody's jumping on trying to go, but little Brittany got through everybody.
Little Brittany. So they slide down, they grab their clues, and then we find out that and I was so funny because I couldn't remember their names when I was taking the notes, so I just put gay survivors not attractive. So, gay survivor is not attractive. They have to fill up a bucket with snowballs and then bring it where everyone else is going. Seemed like a fairly easy speed bump.
It seemed very easy until we saw the polar bear was quite the...
Oh, that was a polar bear talking?
The polar bear was saying tighter. He was like a Hitler. Just, no, it's tighter. And their hands were starting to freeze. And oh my God, I felt so bad for them. It wasn't just la 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 la. No, they had to make some serious snowballs. And that polar bear was serious about it.
I'm just saying allegedly that polar bear was a producer talking off camera, but whatevs. How would I possibly know that? I don't know. But yeah. If you ever wondered what a producer sounds like on Amazing Race, I would
you just always start to ruin the magic.
It would
of
be
the
that
show.
I don't know if you're aware.
Pulling that curtain back. Just keep pulling that curtain back.
I don't know if you're aware. Polar bears don't talk.
They do in these lands.
You know, here's what I find interesting about
they talk in Disneyland.
Yeah, obviously in Disneyland. You know, I listened to another Amazing Race podcast the other day, and it was so filled with facts and information about the places. And I'm like, well...
Which you will not get here.
I was like, you're not getting that here. You're not getting that here. However, I do have to say, I do actually know polar bears are a worse bear than a grizzly bear, because a bear, like if you go camping, you know, a grizzly bear will kill you and then eat your food, but everyone else can run away. Polar bears form a pack. They kill all the people strategically, and then once everyone is dead, they go back and eat the food. So just letting you know.
What show is this again?
Avoid polar bears.
Okay, I got lost.
Avoid polar bears. You're welcome. It's your fun Chat enjoyed it. Chat enjoyed learning something on this show.
I have to take your word. It's a learning show now.
It's a learning show. Speaking of learning, Corinne and Eliza officially hate Rachel and Alyssa and want to block them on all social media because they think that they are bullies and stole their taxi.
And block them on the next roadblock. And if they can block somebody, block. I was happy. I was like, yeah!
Well, do you want the spoiler alert now? Do you want the spoiler alert now? Because I tweeted out, I don't like it when people I love don't get along. Please tell me it's all good now. Corinne, Eliza, Rachel, and Alyssa. Corinne quote tweeted it and said, relax, it's all good. So I was like, all right. I guess if it's all good now, then it's all good. And by the way, just as long as we're here, here's what I was talking about before. I tweeted out the slow motion of of Rachel getting knocked over by Brittany, to which then Rachel replies, laugh out loud, dying. So Rachel even liked it. Rachel had a good sense of humor about being pushed over by Brittany in that challenge, which I thought was great. But apparently, yeah, they are all fine now. They are all getting along. There's no issue.
It doesn't sound like she is in control of her Twitter account anymore.
Who, Rachel?
Yeah, her publicist is.
I think a lot of people were commenting on it and saying like, wow, I really thought that Rachel would be not happy about this, but she seems to be, finding the whole thing funny. So, but then again, she wasn't
publicist seems to be.
She doesn't have a publicist.
You talk about producers in the background. I'm going to talk about publicists.
Yeah, Missy Melissa.
There's a la carte publicists out there.
Missy Melissa says, I still don't get why they don't like Rachel and Alyssa. John, would you like to explain?
Me?
No, John, this is not about Corinne. You. Corinne and Eliza. Why do you think... Why do you think they don't like... What was your takeaway as the reason why they don't like Rachel and Alyssa?
Honestly, I don't know why they don't. I think... what was it in the beginning? We did the show on it. Wasn't it that they kind of wanted to work together, and then the Rileys didn't?
No. They just
something. Yeah.
Well, they pushed them out of the way for that taxi in the beginning of the episode. We're like, no, it's our taxi on this episode.
But they did something before that pissed Corinne and Eliza off.
Oh, did that? That I don't remember. Maybe somebody.
But it was something weird and stupid. But they were like, oh, we don't like that. We were going to work with them, and now we're not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Whatever. So
mine has more substance. They were worse to me.
They were worse to you, sure. Just one of them was because
Alyssa wasn't. She was in the back laughing. It really looks. So.
Alyssa wasn't there because she lives in Canada.
She was there. I can prove it. So I'm gonna do my own slow motion video. So
okay, have that ready on the next show. Now, Corinne and Eliza were not the only people having taxi issues. Tyler and Corey could not get a taxi. Brittany and Janelle could not get a taxi. Team Fun had to Uber a taxi. Who knew they had Uber in Saigon? Did you?
They don't, but Uber's been going on strike, so who knows? Maybe there was a strike.
An Uber strike?
Or a bicycle jump bike. For those that have the motors on them.
I like when Tyler was on the one side of the street and he was trying to get the taxi, and then Corey came over to talk to him, and Tyler just looks at him and goes, boy, I wish you were on the other side of the street trying to get a taxi.
I had a flash of that would be you and I. And you would be saying, gosh, John, what would be great? My wish would be you on the other side of the street trying to find a taxi.
And you would just be like, where's the wine store? Is there a wine store over here?
They have wine here.
They have wine in this place? Because I have a lot of ice. I got a lot of ice.
I got a lot of snowballs in this pail.
Got a lot of... Because we would definitely be the ones doing a speed bump. And I just... Well, whatever. Okay, so Tyler looks at the camera and makes you want to cry. Uber and Lyft were both on strike. Oh no, they both went on strike today in America, Uber and Lyft. Is that what you said, John?
It was yesterday, yeah. And not Lyft, just Uber in selected cities. They had a blackout for an hour. Okay,
well, I'm sorry, Diane, in the chat. John just called you an idiot. Roadblock. Roadblock now is Drive Yourself Crazy, where you have to learn to drive one of the motorbikes, which we have learned populate this whole entire city.
How are people still alive?
Can you explain to me why this was hard? Seriously? Because I don't understand what was hard about this. I mean, we know that Alyssa has great yoga balance, but she was struggling.
I love her confidence, though. Just deadpan, no emotion. I can do this. I've got great yoga balance. Every time she starts to talk great about herself, we know she's going to mess it up. Well, I think what was tough about this, and I'm even going to give Alyssa a little credit too.
Okay.
When you got to go on those little roads that are like this big and a scooter, and you can't put your foot down, but you got to balance, and you got to go in like this figure eight and stay within the lines. I think we're used to kind of putting our foot down if we have our balance, and they couldn't do that. That wasn't a way to pass and get this license. So I think it was a little tough. I think Victor kind of had it too when he says, it would have been easier if I weighed more. I could do this a lot easier. And I thought, you know what? I could do that then.
Yeah, I mean...
way more than Victor. So I'm like, oh, this will be a shoo-in for me.
it was very interesting that, Leo and Jamal, Rachel and Alyssa were the first teams to get there, but seemingly to be the teams, I mean, aside from Corinne and Eliza, seeming to be teams that had a lot of trouble with it.
Even Janelle, who rides ATVs or whatever they're called.
Yeah, well,
couldn't see. Yeah.
I mean, they aren't even there yet. They're still busy on the side of. They're still busy on the side of the road, going. How far away? I want to go back this way. Come back this. Like Brittany and Janelle could not get on the same page to get a taxi at all. But what I found interesting is, to kind of jump back and forth a little bit. But we see Chris and Brett. They're doing the snowball challenge. It took them what? 20 minutes to do their snowball challenge, maybe?
Extra.
They go outside. There's a line of taxis there. They had no problem getting taxis. So why are all these other teams fumbling to find taxis?
Because at that moment, everybody kind of finished the sledding thing kind of fast. And so there were no taxis at the moment. So, 20 minutes later, and you've got Brett and Ginger Boy, there's a ton of taxis because they were kind of replenished where, it was really sad for Tyler and Corey. Oh my God. Yeah. Ooh.
So
I'm scared.
Leo and Jamal actually finish it. They are the first team out of the moped place. And Rachel and Alyssa, unlike what John said, they did it in 9 attempts, which was much better than their 4,900 from the dance challenge. It was a lot less than that
Alyssa's
dance challenge.
Yoga training, dance training.
It was, but my favorite was when Alyssa did it, like when Alyssa finished it, she literally goes, nailed it.
I know.
Like, it literally said under her 9th attempt, and she's like, nailed it. I'm like, you did not nail it. Speaking of John, you were just talking about the dance. Here is the teams before this leg of the race. They were in an airport, and this happened. Now you'll get it.
Ready? Ready. Welcome to Vietnam. Oh, wow.
Yay! They did
that is amazing. Oh my gosh.
They were just performing it, and they just performing for people in
nailed
airports.
It. Now that's nailing it.
Now that is nailing it, but I just like you could get to see those moments. They are traveling. Now, granted, this was all filmed this time last year, but I don't know. It's fun to know that they're out there in the wilds, and there are people that actually they're called race chasers. They actually follow the racers around on legs of the race to try and find them and help them. Race chasers.
Wow, they must be rich race chasers.
Seriously. So Rachel and Alyssa nail it. They move on. Phil tells us we're going over to the detour, which is irritation or irrigation. And irritation is paddle boats down the river. You got to get, over the bridges, get the fish in the barrel. And irrigation is you have to build an irrigation well. Now, John, which of these would we have chosen?
You would have wanted to build the thing, but I would have said the basket boat.
Really? You would have wanted to go into that water?
We're going to have the water all over our hands splashing on us into that bucket, and we're going to have to sit there and tie those little things. We're getting wet regardless. We're touching the water regardless.
All right, I guess that's true. I mean, the baskets did look cute. I love how Brittany is like, I don't have time to help, row. I'm going to just read this clue.
That would be you. That would be you. You would be squinched down. I would be him, and you would be the one sitting down.
Yeah, well, apparently they're trying to get their little gay love on in that boat. Well, you take it from the back. So yeah, I thought that was
Ginger Bear.
Ginger Bear. Leo and Jamal, of course, are the first to irrigation, followed by Rachel and Alyssa, because they were the first teams out of that last one.
Why would they pick irrigation? I forgot. I don't remember that part.
It looked easier. I do have to say, when they went and looked at that wheel, the wheel was 90% built. I don't understand what took so long. All you had to do was attach 12 tubes to the thing.
One of those ties were already done. It was like 8 ties. One was already there.
Yeah,
I showed them how to do it.
I don't get what took. I mean, I understand where Rachel and Alyssa went wrong, but when you say like, I don't know why everybody didn't do it. Like you're just tying stuff to a circle. Mm-hmm. You just had to understand they all have to be in the same angle.
I think Alyssa's vast experience with irrigation, with farming and growing her own herbs for her yoga studio,
right?
Probably thought she could nail it.
She probably did. She did think that she could nail it. Well, we're gonna leave them there for a minute because they're now starting to build their little wheel, and then we see that Colin and Christy, Victor and Nicole decide that they're going to go the irritation route and are not having too much trouble on that boat on the river. They are able to paddle it down. Apparently somebody going boogity, 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 boo is supposed to be hard in front of you.
Well, they're making waves, and when you're not used to rowing a basket, it can be a little tough.
Yeah.
So and then there was 2 at one point, and they were having to fight with oars and splash them and get out of my way.
Yeah, I would have tipped the boat over for that person. I would have been as soon as they were da 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 and splashing, I would have jumped out, flipped their thing over, and got back in mine and kept going.
You would have jumped into the water?
Well, at that point, the water is all over me anyway. That point,
I would have jumped in their boat and knocked them over, and then jumped back in mine.
Yeah, I think that is exactly what I just said. Leo,
I would jump in the water though.
Oh, you're gonna jump in their boat?
Yes.
Well, what are you, Jesus? How are you getting from their flipped over boat back into your boat? You walking on water?
No, their boat wouldn't be flipped over yet. I would jump into their boat, push them in, and then jump back into ours.
Oh, you're not flipping their boat. You're going to just knock them down like you think this is American Gladiators.
I'm not a monster like you.
I would have flipped their boat and drowned them and try and get my way. Let's see how that works out for you. Oh my
God. It's good to know this now.
So Leo and Jamal, we find, have no trouble completing their wheel, while Rachel and Alyssa are still struggling.
I mean, no problem.
No problem at all. Tyler and Corey arrive now back at the roadblock and find what will become the theme of the episode, a very upset Corinne and Eliza, because apparently Eliza has no ability to ride a motorbike. I still don't get what's hard about it.
Okay, so focus.
Right.
Focus.
Okay.
You can't put your foot down. I mean, you're not gracious without the motorbike, just walking in your living room, per se. Well, so driving in the figure 8 and having to get your balance and not be able to put your foot down because you have to navigate and go over the bumps and everything, could be a little, hard.
I think we have to figure out how to make it where we get to test this. I should be allowed to buy a motorbike.
Well, here's what I would have done. At what point do you think Corinne should have stepped in and said, let me try?
You're not allowed.
You can't.
No. Once the one person commits to doing it, you cannot switch.
Is that true, chat room?
That is 100% true. The only thing you can... Now, had it been...
from the chat room, though.
Yes, well, there you go. They're all telling you yes. Had it been a roadblock, they would be allowed to switch to the next challenge. But had it been a detour, they would have been allowed to switch to the next.
Okay, like if somebody detoured them.
No. The detour is when you have the two choices, like irrigation or irritation. You know about irritation. They can decide to do the other one if they're having trouble. But no, a roadblock, you do not get to move on until you've done it. So Tyler and Corey, they end up going there, and they don't really have a lot of trouble doing it. I mean, yes, it takes them a few times, Corey a few times, but he got it. He did it well. Then comes, I think, one of the parts of the episode that a lot of the fans had trouble with. Like, if you were maybe, I don't know, looking for reason to be mad at Corinne, this might be one when she says, and I quote, "What do you expect from Eliza? She didn't grow up in a trailer park with mopeds, so how would she know how to do this?" First of all, I don't live in a trailer park. I live in a house. And you know what I can't afford? A moped.
Well, see, if you lived in a trailer park, then you could.
But I never thought that is a moped considered a poor person thing? Mopeds around here, like mopeds, quads, that's what all the rich people have.
All the rich people have them, yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that the poor people... Yeah, Miss Janny Talley is saying, I've never seen a moped in a trailer park.
Ever. Have
you ever seen one in a trailer park? Like when you're visiting your mom? I was gonna be like,
she's watching, and she's going to, and it's Mother's Day this weekend, and you say that about my dear sainted mother?
I was gonna go with, I trapped you. You have been to a trailer park, but then I thought I might as well just go with Mom. It's better. I don't ever get to make your mom jokes in real life because everyone that I'm friends with has a mom with issues, so I can never make a your mom joke, and they're my favorite to make.
Mother, this is a comedic recap. I'm putting the disclaimer out there.
Oh, yeah.
You shared by this one.
Okay, hold on. Just texting your mom back.
Text my mom back.
Yeah, she likes to give me things to insult you with on this show. So.
No, but even any of the trailer parks you see like on TV, none of them have mopeds. Like even the stereotypical ones that they like to do for comedies or whatever. Nobody has. They would be stolen. The motor would be stolen, right? Or sold for meth. I don't know.
Exactly.
It was weird for her to say that, and
nobody in trailer parks. Chat room agrees. Nobody in trailer parks is doing that. Missy Melissa, people. What were you searching the web for?
My watch keeps turning on. I have to turn the Surrey off my watch.
Yeah, Christy. So Christy and Colin. Going down the river, they get to the end, they misread their clue, they don't get the like you had to get the 5 fish at the end after you made it through all the obstacles. You had to get the 5 fish, they forget the basket, end up going back for the basket. What
you
do you
could see little hints of the old Colin, right? Like he really wasn't listening to her. She's sitting there saying, well, what about the basket? And then we see the little check the fish and then an red X on the basket. And she had to repeat herself a few times as he was rowing back. She goes, I really think we need the basket.
Right. Well, don't you... Which one of you has the clue? Like, where are you leaving the clue? Like, I'm off to...
She had the clue. And she kept reading it to him, but he wasn't listening. And I'm like, oh, there's old flashes of mad, angry Colin.
Well, we'll see if that... I mean, I think so, too. I mean, why would the edit keep referencing it if we're not going to get to see it soon? So I can't wait. Light it on fire. Well, it only took Eliza 1,956 tries, but she finally was able to finish. And I didn't understand
Nailed
that
either.
it. When she's
and
like...
Chelsea nailed it.
Yeah, when she's like, I did it, did I do it? You just did it.
Nailed it.
You know you did it. You know you did. Like, what... You watched every other team do it ahead of you, so you ought to know you finished it.
I finally did it.
I finally did it.
It was important for me to complete my task.
Exactly.
It's a moped. It's a moped.
It couldn't be any easier. Back to
Alyssa can do it. Anybody can do it.
Cut back to now Rachel and Alyssa, who have watched all the other teams finish their basketing, basically. And now Rachel is turning into old Brendan and Rachel when she's like, Alyssa, I want to move on.
Okay,
I want to move on.
You know, as much smack as I talk about the sisters, you know, Brendan I love. He's always been so awesome to me. He went to school in a city in California where I used to live. We had a lot in common. He needs to take a note on how Alyssa handles Rachel.
Yeah.
Because honestly, she handles her beautifully. She really does. And there, you know, she starts to spiral out of control, and Alyssa just stays so calm and zen. I mean, she really, I have to give her credit when credit's due. She's like walking Xanax. She really is. She just, it's amazing to watch, actually.
Kathy S. in the chat room says, Alyssa needs to stop filling those lips. Oh my God,
Yeah.
she's going to float away.
The lips are big, and, you know, that old saying doesn't really apply here. If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, well, she's not a duck. But, yeah.
You know what old saying I prefer, Kathy S? I prefer...
Mothers are off limits? Oh, wait, no, you don't prefer that one.
No,
Go ahead.
I prefer
Day,
her body, her right. And Kathy, I believe that women are allowed to do whatever they want to their body. It's their choice, and maybe you should be a little more pro-women, Kathy S.
No, Kathy S. I think you've nailed it.
And in case of emergency, Alyssa can use her lips to float down that river.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Okay, so Rachel wants to quit, as we saw, like you said. You know,
Always.
Alyssa is able to calm her down, get them back on track.
Let's just go in the boat. We can't do this. I can't tie little leather straps to make the water go in a certain direction. Let's just go.
I hear you. Colin and Christy, Nicole and Victor, they all did the boats. They finished. They are off to the finish line.
Amazing.
It is a foot race between Colin and Christy, Nicole and Victor. Who did you want to come in first between those?
You know, I love my team fun. Colin and Christy. I mean, I probably would have wanted Nicole and Victor.
I kind of wanted it for Nicole and Victor too. Like, if I'm being honest, I kind of did as well. I was like, oh, they just keep every week.
What? Their second place.
Third time.
That's deserved. They're doing great.
They really are. I'm honestly surprised. Okay, I don't want to take away from all the good that I've said about them on Twitter. I feel like I like Caleb on Survivor too. Like, I feel like you can edit people to be great, is what I'm saying.
My earbuds must be. And so what did you say about Caleb?
I liked him on Survivor. They gave him such a great edit on Survivor that, you know, it's just, I'm proposing the question. Are we saying, in fact, Nicole is great on here, or are we saying she's getting a great edit, is my question for you.
She could be getting a great edit, but, you know, she's also placing, this is her third, second place. So, you know, for me, I think some of the way she talks nasally is cute. Not a whole lot, like on Big Brother and the live feeds, it's a little much, but here we're not getting a lot of that. And, you know, I think Victor's a great companion for her because he supports her, even as she's, you know, come on, honey, catch up kind of thing. She's just like, I'm trying. But he doesn't react. And I think they're great for each other. And I think I would have liked them to win the trip instead of Colin and Christy. It would have been funny if that trip was a place that, you know, they had bad memories at. And they're like, you know what, we'll just donate it.
We'll just donate it. Why not? That makes a lot more sense. I could not grab a clip. Like, not I could not. I couldn't. I physically refused to get a clip of the Tyler and Corey. Now, oh my God, when they are finishing that boat challenge and Corey goes, oh, I cut my finger. He just like he like brushes
No.
it off. He's like, "Oh, I cut my finger." Cut to the next scene. If you go back and watch it, the entire oar is covered in blood. The bottom of the boat is covered in blood. There is fucking blood everywhere for that. Oh, I cut my finger.
Well, you know how like a paper cut just won't stop bleeding? You know, sometimes those little ones just bleed, bleed, bleed.
All I could think is, if you get that cut in that water, you are getting every disease ever. Like, that water has to be so...
Like, you might as well just go to a bathhouse.
Just...
no protection. You're doomed.
I was just like, oh God, keep it out of the water.
Go to a brothel with no protection because it doesn't matter if you touch the water.
I'm surprised. Yeah, Miss Jenny Talley says, I can't believe that Tyler Tyler had him keep rowing after that. I know, Tyler, what are you doing? Like
Tyler was probably trying to stay away from the blood.
Tyler's like, I gotta check my YouTube follows.
Mm-hmm.
This is another thing that I find suspicious, and I hope that we end up getting Tyler on the show. He tweeted out before last night's episode, he goes, I did something amazing in Saigon a year ago that I've been dying to share with all of you. And I thought it was going to be amazing, but he's like, but I wasn't allowed to talk about it until now, or until tomorrow, when Amazing Race aired. So then yesterday came, and he tweeted out that he did this special thing for the Pokemon detective movie. And I'm like, did they let you take a break from filming Amazing Race to film something for your YouTube channel? Because that's really what it seems like. Like, he might have been allowed to take a break to go film something for his YouTube channel. Like, I don't get it. Makes no sense. Go check his Twitter. I meant to grab that tweet, but I was like, we're going to run out of time, which we're running out of time right now. So, Leo and Jamal end up getting lost looking for the pit stop. But they make it. Basically, here are the way the teams are placing. Obviously, like we said, Colin and Christy first, Nicole and Victor second. Chris and Brett come all the way from not being eliminated last week to third.
Good job, Survivor.
Becca and Floyd fourth. Tyler and Corey survive the hand cut, make the race. They beat out a lost Leo and Jamal for fifth and sixth.
Good job, YouTubers.
And then we find out it all comes down to Rachel and Alyssa still on that wheel, and Corinne and Eliza. Now here was
two sets of mean girls.
They are not mean girls. They are both hysterically funny girls in their own ways.
Mean girls. Run.
Here was my favorite part, and this is how you can tell that Eliza's a New Yorker. When she got in the boat and there's the guy standing up doing this thing, and Eliza goes, oh, they're showing us how to do it. So she convinces Corinne to stand in the boat and paddle. I'm just like, no. No, you don't need to stand in the boat to paddle. So we don't know who it's gonna be. It ends up being the foot race to the end, and then we have the amazing scenes. So I'm going to just play like one little part of it for us here, for those of you that may have missed this amazingness. So here, ready?
Rachel and Alyssa, you are still in the race and you are officially team number 8. Congratulations.
The race is not over yet, Phil. It's just like, we're so blessed and we don't want to ever take that for granted.
Guess we're not blessed.
We are not #blessed, apparently.
We are not #blessed, apparently. Eye rolling from Eliza. She could not eye roll more to Rachel and Alyssa. Now, before we discuss this, because I know you have feelings on this, I just would like to ask you, John, who had the better eye roll? Eliza or Tyler?
Oh, Tyler, please.
Tyler better eye roll?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Hands down.
What was your thought of this, Rachel and Alyssa beating out Corinne and Eliza to the mat and Corinne and Eliza not having it?
Well, listen, I mean, they named them Team Dum Dum in the beginning of this race, remember?
Uh-huh.
And Team Dum Dum just beat them. So, yeah, they're mad. They're absolutely mad. And what's even worse is that those Riley sisters just aren't that supportive, but to sit there and say, we treasure them and love them as women, and they're strong. And I was just like, Eliza, you could just see her cracking and coming apart. And I loved the extended scene where they're at the railing too.
I mean, okay, so here, let's go ahead. You want to watch a little bit more?
Absolutely.
Here we go. We have a
watch
little
this all
bit
day.
more. We got a little bit more. Here we go.
Sorry to tell you, you have been eliminated from the race.
So they've been eliminated.
We were hoping to do Survivor a little better than this, but we did our best.
We gave it everything we had, and when you know you've given it everything you have and you still fail, then you're like, oh, what I had wasn't enough.
Okay, hold on now 1 second. I just want John to comment on this. So that was, Corinne saying, we've given it everything that we have, and then just found out what we have is not enough.
Not next to Team Dum Dum.
Not next to Team Dum Dum. Okay. All right. So now I think I was trying to get it. Okay. Here is, I think, the part John's talking about.
As women racers and women, and they're really strong.
And then to have to stand there at our elimination on the mat with Rachel and Alyssa, who were like, we respect you as women. I was like, get out of here with your fake BS. Like, I have no interest in hearing from them or speaking to them ever again.
And then they are moving over to, okay, that is where it ends. And that, so basically they were like, I am never going to see them again. I have zero desire to ever see them again.
Never going to talk to them again.
Talk to them, nothing. But again, like I already spoiled for all of you before, they are all friends now. Corinne yelled at me and told me to relax. And I wanted to be like, this is me, relax.
Great. I am still on an island all by myself on this.
You are. But, I felt bad for her. I can't imagine. You are racing for $1 million. When in your life...
$1 million.
When in your life are you going to have a 1 in 9 chance at $1 million?
And Team Dum Dum beat you out.
Because you can't balance.
On a moped, because you weren't white trash. Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Is that the excuse?
That's pretty much the excuse, yeah. I loved it. I love that check-in. I really encourage people, if you're not following John on Twitter, @ComedyJonah, if you're not following me on Twitter, @RealityRecaps, I highly recommend that you follow us for when we are live tweeting these things. There is a lot of drama that is happening on social media while these shows are airing live. Now, that being said, we know we're keeping this show short. We only have like 5 minutes until the Big Brother Canada finale starts, where I will be live tweeting for the next 2 hours. Then I'll be back right here on YouNow to discuss the Big Brother Canada finale with all of you. So next week will be a regular or a little bit longer Amazing Race show, and we will have some behind the scene clips for all of you, which I'm very excited about. But John, before you go, where can the people find ya?
Everywhere at Comedy Jonah.
Alrighty. Right there. All right, John, I am going to kick you off and I am going to close us out. Bye for now, John.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. So of course, John will be back here with me this same time Thursday night at 7 p.m. Our schedules will not be crazy anymore because Big Brother Canada will be over. Of course, if you missed any of our shows, check them out over at yourrealityrecaps.com. If you missed this live and want to see it, yourrealityrecaps.com/YouNow. To become a fan, it is completely free. If you want to help support our shows, yourrealityrecaps.com/patron, or you can do a one-time donation at yourrealityrecaps.com/PayPal. Of course, we are covering more than just Amazing Race, Big Brother Canada 7. We will have each house guest on, one a night for probably the next 2.5 weeks, starting next Monday. We are covering this. We are covering Drag Race. John does his cooking shows, Bravo shows. There is so much we are covering. So if you cannot financially support, consider thumbsing up and subscribing on YouTube. Hit the bell so you're alerted. iTunes, 5-star rating and a nice review. Share our stuff on social media. Those are great free ways to help support our shows. And we will see all of you guys back here on the next show. Bye for now, everybody. Bye.